Israel praises Guatemala over decision to move embassy to Jerusalem. Israel has praised Guatemala's president, Jimmy Morales, for following the lead of Donald Trump in announcing plans to move his country's embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. The decision by Guatemala, one of only 8 countries to vote last week with the U.S. in opposing a UN resolution condemning Trump's move to recognize Jerusalem as Israel's capital, is in stark contrast to the rest of the world, including all other 14 members of the UN Security Council, apart from the U.S., who opposed the move. After speaking with the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, Morales wrote to Guatemalans on his Facebook page that one of the most important topics was the return of Guatemala's embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv, where it is currently located. Lorde cancels Israel concert after pro-Palestinian campaign. Read more. For this reason I am informing you that I have given instructions to the Foreign Ministry that it start the necessary respective coordination to make this happen, Morales wrote. The move is unlikely to have any significant impact, however, in international diplomacy or around Israel and the US's isolation around the issue of Jerusalem's status with all major states including all of the US's major European allies against the move. Guatemala has long had close security cooperation with Israel, including being a purchaser of Israeli arms. Morales is an evangelical Christian whose election in 2015 was seen in Israel as marking the potential for closer relations. Israeli Foreign Ministry spokesman Emmanuel Nishan thanked Guatemala for the important decision. "Wonderful news and true friendship," he wrote on Twitter. Israel's Foreign Ministry on Monday hailed a true friendship with Guatemala. The Deputy Minister for Diplomacy, Michael Aaron, also praised the move. "Viva Guatemala! It takes courage for a superpower to stand up for justice and recognize Jerusalem as Israel's eternal capital. But it takes even more immense guts for a small nation to do that," Aaron wrote on Twitter. "People of Guatemala, the people of Israel will never forget your support and bravery. Guatemalans have shown they know very well that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel. I welcome their decision to bring their embassy to Jerusalem and thank them for their deep friendship," added Israel's President, Reuven Rivlin. "We look forward to welcoming you to Jerusalem." Guatemala became the first nation to pledge to move its mission to Jerusalem since Trump's the 6th of December recognition of the city as Israel's capital and decision to move the American embassy from Tel Aviv. Czech Republic has also since recognized West Jerusalem as Israel's capital. The announcement is scant compensation for Trump and for Israel, who have been lobbying tirelessly behind the scenes to persuade other countries to line up behind their position with little apparent success so far. Among other Latin American countries lobbied heavily around the time of Trump's announcement, The Guardian understands, was Costa Rica, which has declined to follow suit. While Czech Republic had briefly suggested it could follow Trump's line, it quickly reversed its position, and by last week had contented itself with merely abstaining in a UN General Assembly vote that overwhelmingly criticized Trump's move. Instead, Trump and Israel have had to content themselves with the support of Togo, a handful of tiny Pacific nations, and Honduras and Guatemala. In all, 128 nations voted to maintain the international consensus that Jerusalem's status can only be decided through peace negotiations between Israelis and Palestinians. Only 8 countries stood with the U.S. in voting no to the resolution held in the UN General